This morning, police are looking for two armed men who made their way inside a surprise restaurant and bound workers with duct tape. It happened as they were about to open for business. A key time, experts say, for criminals to make their move. New on Daybreak, we're working to keep you safe. ABC 15's Hatzel Bella is joining us live out of Mesa. Okay, Hatzel, what can businesses do to be proactive and keep criminals away?
Well, it seems at this restaurant, these guys did something right, which is to have several workers, more than one, at opening and closing times. I'm going to talk to Tim Zehring, who's a long-term security expert, a long time in law enforcement. Take us through the process of what you look for to make sure these places are secure.
The first thing we tell people is armed robberies are not difficult to prevent. Make sure you've got good lighting. Make sure the windows are not obscured so people can see out. Make sure you're making frequent cash drops into time safes. And if you're going to go to the bank, make sure you vary the times that you go. Make sure the landscaping is kept low so that it doesn't provide hiding places for armed robbers. And because many times robbers are ex-employees, you want to make sure you've got good security training and standards. Frequently, the delivery door is a door that's used by armed robbers. People go out for smoke breaks, they leave the door open. You want to make sure these doors are kept closed and that you've got a peephole in the door so you can see who's there before you open it.
Very important tips. One of the things you mentioned was cash drop-offs. That's very important.
Absolutely, because a lot of times people will get hit when they leave the store with a lot of cash. If they're using a bank bag especially that says, hey, I've got cash in here. But if you use a time safe, frequently they won't believe you if you say I can't get in because the safe can only be opened at a certain time. An option would be to have a safe that can only open after 15 minutes delay.
All right. Tim, thank you so much for joining us live this morning at 6:30. We're going to talk about what happens if you find yourself in that bad situation. For now, reporting live in Mesa, Hatzel Bella, ABC 15 News.
AT&T. We are hoping to get an update on a restaurant robbery and surprise where workers were bound with duct tape. The important thing here to know is that the workers are okay, likely because they cooperated with the robbers. But imagine if something like this happened to you while you were at work. New on Daybreak, we want to help you stay safe. ABC 15's Hatzel Bella joins us live in Mesa. Hatzel, a tough situation for anyone. What can people do if they find themselves in the same situation?
Rebecca, security experts tell me the most important thing is to make sure you come out of your workplace alive, that you do everything possible to make sure that you're not injured in this whole incident. Joining me live is Tim Zehring, longtime security expert. Tim, run us down some of those key points so that people don't run into anything dangerous or bad.
Always remember there's nothing in the store that's worth your life. So your #1 goal is to survive. Don't make sudden moves. Keep your hands in plain view. Don't be a hero. Because if you make some sudden moves or you try to be a hero, you can turn a passive robber into a violent one very quickly. Most robberies happen in less than a minute. You want them in and out as quickly as possible. Try not to stare at them directly in the face, but do try to get a good view of, distinguishing marks, tattoos, scars, hair color, eye color, clothing, especially inside clothing, because they'll peel off a jacket. And make sure they're completely out of the store before you lock the doors. And after you've locked the doors, don't touch anything. Preserve the evidence.
That's because you want to keep the evidence. You want to make sure that police gets to that evidence.
Absolutely right. And also, if customers are willing to stay around, ask them to stay. Don't let them talk to each other. Get witness statements. Have them write down notes, but don't let them talk to each other. And when the police get there, they'll probably do the same thing on an official form. But you don't want people to talk to each other until the police get there.
All right, Tim, thank you so much for joining us live this morning. Tim, talking about some key things to remember if you ever find yourself in a situations that those workers in Surprise found themselves in. For now, reporting live in Mesa, Hatzel Bella, ABC 15 News.